Hey, this is Elliot. Sorry to interrupt the pod that you're enjoying right now. Promise, we'll get back to it as quick as possible. But I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time for listening to this episode. If you want to support us further, you can do so by following us on Instagram at Can I Kick It FC and on Twitter CIKIFC. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at Can I Kick It FC and also on Twitter at CIKIFC. Thanks. I'll let you guys later. What's going on, listeners? Welcome to the latest episode of River City 93. This is your host, as always, Elliot Barr, and is joining me. Also, I have Matt here. Hey, Matt.
What's going on? I'm glad I got the also featuring.
Yeah, I had to change it up because it's usually Shanair, but it's not. So, yeah. But joining us is someone that is not only nicknamed the Babyface Assassin for the Richmond Kickers, the most electric left winger in the league, and my dark horse choice for MVP this year. Mr. Jonathan Bolanos. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, what an introduction. What's up, guys? Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you, man. I really can't wait to get started. I know I've been waiting for this interview for a while now, so it's about time that you guys definitely sent me a message.
All right, pressure's on now. We got to grow.
Right. Nah, look, you have someone that we've been wanting on the show for a while. I always rub it in Shanair's face about how I picked you and he picked Stanley. I'm like, my choice won.
Love it. I actually was on the phone with him today, so it's I'm hoping he can find a club soon and everything. But yeah, wishing him the best right now for the offseason.
Right. Well, let's talk about the offseason, man. How was your offseason? Yeah. You're going into year 3 now. How was that for you?
I think it was definitely an eye-opening experience in the sense that I learned so much and I grew as a player, definitely and a person this offseason. I mean, it was my first time technically being like a free agent. So learning what that process is like, figuring out if I was going to stay, if I was going to go, and really opening my interest up to other clubs was huge. And I mean, again, I ended up getting a little bit of interest around the league and, from other leagues as well, and decided that for me to grow and move in the right direction, I needed another year in Richmond with Darren as well. So, and the coaching staff. And so far, I've been really happy with my decision.
Talking about Darren and whatnot, how was that whole recruitment process for you? Because you obviously came in from Highport University. How was that whole recruitment process from Darren from making you come here?
I didn't really I know I wanted to play obviously pro. I know I wanted to be in the USL and all that. Obviously I had my goals and sights set on MLS, and kind of when that draft and all that came around, I was unlucky not to be chosen in the list for that. So Dan ended up calling and talked to my agent, and he actually let him know that he was watching actually some of the High Point games. So I was actually on his radar before then. So to already have that kind of interest coming out of college, and the fact that he cared about me, and I could tell right away he had a game style that I would fit, it matched perfectly. It couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you and Darren have a good relationship. It's part of the reason you wanted to come back, for another year. So, and you kind of alluded to this last year. You took I think a very significant, jump. You became one of the key points of the attack. What do you attribute to that, and what are you looking to be able to grow and add for your game this year, your third year with the team?
Yeah, I think every year I've been able to kind of grow and again make those improvements on the attacking end as well as the defensive end. Some on the field. I think going into the third year, last year was a big jump for me in the sense that I was able to kind of put my, I guess you could say, attacking qualities on the field and really show them and dominate games in the sense, and develop some kind of consistency, which was different from my first year. I had performance my first year, just like as most rookies do. we end up balling out one game, and then the next game it's like, okay, where's that same momentum or intensity, you could say. So developing that consistency, being able to do it every game last year was huge, and now for this year, it's like, okay, can I dominate, and also can I get more on the stat sheet and be able to completely take over teams and defenses. So that's a big one heading in for year 3, I think, for me.
I want to ask you this question. Pretty much that leap, you talked about it briefly, but from year 1 to year 2, what was the one thing you went into that offseason looking to improve the most?
Really just be clinical in front of goal, man. I think that first year as a rookie, the times that I would come off the bench, I would have those looks and was unlucky and wasn't able to finish those and really have that aggressiveness towards goal. And that second year, it was like, all right, well, this is my time to shine, and I really got to start putting that mentality and that impact on the game. So I think I could think of, for example, like the Greenville goal when I'm taking off 60 yards and I'm hitting it, at the top of the 18. I mean, that just kind of shows in terms of me saying like, all right, I'm about to take over this game and I'm gonna school this defender real quick. And that mentality and something that's something Darren has really preached on me since he himself was a winger as well. So year 3, it's like, okay, can I do that every game, no matter who's marking me, in a sense.
Yeah, so you mentioned you want to be able to work on filling up that stat sheet a little bit more. I don't think any of us are going to be mad if that happens. But, you've established, especially last year, a really strong relationship up front with Emmy, who definitely fills up the stat sheet. Why do you think the two of you work so well together up there?
To be honest, I think it's a South American blood, man. It's just different. I think the way that we're able to understand each other, not even talking, just by our movements. Again, I mean, I've played with the guy. This will be my 3rd year now with him, and the amount of time that I spend with him off the field, I think translates on the field as well. And that's something that Darren has always joked around too. He's like, hey, if you guys want to go get a coffee off the field or whatever, do anything, do it please, because then it'll show on the field when you're crossing in the ball and he's finishing in the back of the net, which it has been. So developing that consistency and that trust with each other, I think we understand each other's games very well, and I think you'll see it even more this year.
I want to ask you a question, and I want your honest opinion about it. Can you explain to us about this goal that happened against North Texas? Was it a cross? Was it a shot? Was it a mid? What was it?
Honestly, I'll say that it was a cross. It was a cross. But I mean, a goal is a goal, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it was a moment for me to dance in front of the fans and celebrate a little. So I was happy with it.
What is your driving force? Like, what drives you to be the best player you can be? Is it family? Is it friends? Is it trying to get to the MLS or even Europe?
I think it's I mean, apart from my family and being able to represent them every game, I think in a sense with, the name on my shirt, it's those aspirations and dreams that I had as a kid. I mean, the dream was to make it to Europe and make it to the highest league possible. So with that dream still being in me and not yet fulfilling that to its lengths, I guess you could say, is something big for me that's my main driving force, I think.
Also, another question I want to ask you: what is it about when we play High Point in preseason that you decide to go into hyper form? Because for those who don't know, those who didn't see it, I saw it. You had a moment where the last preseason game was High Point. You kind of like just tapped the ball on the sideline and just speed it up like at least 30 times past everyone else.
I think it's just I mean, apart from being my alma mater, but I mean, just making sure they realize and they understand who the player they developed is, and where he's at now. I think part of me also kind of wants to show those younger guys that just kind of give them someone to look up to in a sense. I mean, we've had a couple pros come out of High Point, but it's not the same as a Wake Forest or a UVA or any of those bigger schools. So kind of being a bigger influence for those guys and showing them what I can do on the field is something big for me too.
You also mentioned, you go, Matt.
Yeah, so I was going to say, you mentioned you're talking about High Point right there. So I noticed you've had a very, we'll call it interesting geographic journey, from South Florida to High Point, North Carolina, with a stop in Des Moines, Iowa in the middle before getting to Richmond. How would you say Richmond kind of matches up with different places that you've been, especially now that you're able to be out and about a bit more, shall we say?
Yeah. Sorry to all the Menace fans, but definitely better than Des Moines, Iowa. I mean, there's not a lot going in Des Moines. Again, the Menace is a great club. I love my time there. It was strictly soccer just because there was nothing really apart from soccer there when I would spend my summers there. But I mean, in terms of Miami, it's very, very different. I do miss the beaches and the 80-degree, 90-degree weather every day, but Richmond is definitely a place I've absolutely loved, and a place that, being my first team or my first professional, destination has been everything I've hoped for. So yeah.
What's some of your favorite places to go to and eat? That's the real question we brought you on the show for.
I actually just tried Cuba a couple nights ago. Good place. I definitely highly recommend that. I actually I found a Colombian place here in Midlothian called Café and Sabor, and that place is really good that I recommend as well. I think another place that I love here. What else? PBR. It's a great pizza place I loved. So yeah, one of my spots. I don't know. Is that enough? You don't.
We gotta take
you're not feeling that one.
Nah, come on. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're there just for the atmosphere, not for the pizza.
A little bit of both. Yeah, I think the atmosphere makes the pizza better.
There you go. Okay.
You might have to show me some new ones though.
Hey, look, I can show you around. Around. Over here.
We'll do that.
Talking about you and Emmy's relationship, I want to ask you this, man. How nervous are you for Colombia in World Cup qualifying, and how much riff has the Argentinian, because we're low-key becoming Richmond, Argentina. How much riff have they been giving you about Colombia?
Every time it's Argentina versus Colombia, we always watch it together. It's funny because Emmy has a couple pictures on his phone of Zaka and everyone else, all the Argentinian guys on one corner, and I'm in the corner of the room with my Colombian shirt on, crying almost because we watched the Copa America together. But we're definitely in a bad spot right now. It's not a good spot. I think it's very unlikely that we don't make it. But again, I just you never know, man. Sometimes miracles happen. So I'm hoping for the best.
That is very true. I mean, look, at least y'all doing better than my Jamaicans. So I'll give you that.
Hey. I wasn't going to say it, but I mean
we're out. I gave up hope already.
See, I'm not there yet, though. I got the tiny bit of hope in me, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Nah, that got crushed in January.
Emmy, Zaka, Leo, all those guys, they're just chilling right now. They're laughing at us, but we'll see. Yeah.
So, kind of talking about your relationship with all the other South American guys. I've noticed over the last couple of years you've officially or unofficially been a bit of the team translator. How has that experience kind of affected you, or affected your relationship with some of the guys?
Definitely, obviously with the Spanish speaking guys, and I mean not only the Argentinians, but everyone else on the team from those Spanish-speaking countries. I mean, my relationship with them is definitely different, I would say, in the sense from the other guys, just because of the amount of time I spent with them. Normally, it's funny. All the Argentinian guys drink mate in the morning. So they always get like in their little corner group of mate, all the mate drinkers in the locker room, and I'm kind of in the middle of that because I mean the Colombians we would only just drink coffee every morning. So it's funny how we're able to bond and speak, and it kind of just takes me back in terms of my culture in South America. I think South Florida a little bit, but in terms of the translator stuff and all that, I mean I've absolutely loved it, and Darren and Mika have they're almost Spanish fluent speakers now, but they're improving day by day.
Yeah, we did hear that. We heard Derek. I think it was a post. He was speaking Spanish. I was like, oh, what is this?
I've heard a couple choice words from Darren, but
he'll invent some words sometimes, and then all of us are like, what did this guy just make up? But it's funny, man.
All right. So be honest here, though. How many times has the translation from Darren through you suddenly become "give the ball to Bolanos"?
It's been a couple times that we've had that halftime talk quite a bit of times. And I gotta tell them, I'm like, listen, it's coming from Darren, it's not coming from me. So, I'm not the one saying it, but give me the freaking ball, type of thing. So yeah, it's been pretty funny, and that's been a couple halftime talks right there.
Oh man, that is hilarious. I can just imagine now Darren's up at the board, like drawing a whole bunch of stuff. John's like, get all that. Me.
Literally. Because I gotta, with the translating stuff, I mean, I can't translate word by word. And sometimes I gotta condense it in, I'm not gonna remember everything Darren says. So for the gist of it, it's exactly like you said. I'm like, hey, forget all that stuff he drew. He basically just said, give me the ball that wide. That's pretty
so
simple.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have this hat trick on opening day, we know what the half team talk was, right?
Basically.
that works. That's how it works.
Meanwhile, we'll see Bolduc and Luke and some of those guys just like staring daggers at him, be like, I was supposed to tap that ball. That's supposed to be my free kick.
By the way, I just want to say Matt has this mustache that's growing, and I'm just waiting to see how longer it goes.
I love it. He goes through phases though, he'll grow it out for a little, then shave it off and go back, and I like it though. Got the little Jack Grealish look going right now.
So I saw that on the Instagram today. It's like straight stash at the moment.
So I want to ask you this, man. Like, when it comes to playing in League Two and obviously playing in League One now, like, what is the playing difference? Like, how is the style difference between the two?
I think with USL League One, you have not only more quality overall on the field as players, but experience as well. I mean, League Two is a lot of college guys, as it was PDL before. It's guys coming from college and spending summers there and all that. And the experience on the field in terms of the guys that you have in League One, Connor Tobin, players of that nature, Kyle Venture that we had the first year. Those kind of players really show their experience, on the playing field, and that's a big difference. It was interesting though, because my first year in Des Moines, we had Alan Marcina as the head coach, who is now the head coach of San Antonio, and at that time he was a USL scout coordinator. So I was myself and 3 other guys were the only college players at the time on that team, and it was all USL guys that have recently been out of contract or we're trying to look for a new team. So that first year in Des Moines where we went undefeated was one of the best experiences for me, because it gave me a glimpse of what the professional kind of atmosphere and style looks like. So yeah, we actually had Lavelle Palmer. I don't know if that sounds familiar, Yogi. And he was the captain. I mean, walking in and you see that big Jamaican like that, I mean, you can't, I'm terrified. I'm a little stick at freshman year. That's not even. I'm like, what did I get myself into? So yeah, it was a great experience, though, man. It's great.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
So,
okay. Oh, you got a question, Matt?
Yeah. So, a couple years in the league now. What's your second favorite place to play in League One? Obviously, City Stadium, number one. We don't need to.
Apart from Richmond, I really enjoy playing in Madison. Actually, Madison is a city that I mean, the times that we've been, the city atmosphere has been great, as well as the fans. It reminds me of back home, and the fact that they have such a supportive fan group. Obviously, the field I don't think is the best in terms of quality. I don't really enjoy playing on turf, but their fans are definitely electric and make the atmosphere really fun to play in.
All right, and then follow up. What's the place that you just have no interest in ever going back to again, if you could help it?
Statesboro, Georgia. That's an easy question.
Yeah, I was down there for that game last year.
Yeah.
Wasn't much there.
Yeah, it's that and maybe Chattanooga. I'm not really a big fan of Chattanooga either. So yeah.
Is there any defender in the league that you look at and be like, oh, I got him today? Oh yeah, I'm about to cross him up a couple of times.
Not one that I could stick out of, or that comes out right away. I've had a couple good battles with I thought the Souza, the guy from Omaha.
Yeah.
I thought he was now at Sac Republic. I thought he was definitely a good defender. And there's just been great matchups throughout the league. I mean, since the fact that we're playing most teams more than once, I kind of see what I did, try to see what I did the first matchup against them, see what their tendencies are as defenders, and kind of improve on that the second game and see if I can take them even more. So, yeah.
This is a question that came in for us, but who is your biggest inspiration when you were growing up? Like, who's the player you most emulated?
So I think, really, really early on, I think most of everyone could say I was a big Barcelona fan. So Messi, I personally always wanted to be a 10 growing up, and I think it's funny how that mentality has changed, because now with the kids growing up nowadays, they don't say I want to be a 10 anymore, because the 10, I feel like position has definitely shifted, and a lot of different players on the field now are wearing that number, where it was like before, it was like, hey, your center attacking mid is the only one that's supposed to be 10. Your assist, your guy who's making all magic happen is your 10 in a sense, whereas now it's definitely different. But I would say Messi for sure. As I was getting older and looking for people more in my position, and even now, I would say Di Maria is a big one. I think a lot of people say, oh, I almost look like him in a sense with the skinny legs and everything,
Yeah.
a little bit, and and then I've been starting to watch him a lot, and I even watched him before Liverpool. But Luis Diaz for Colombia has been an absolute baller, and I mean, he could be one of the if not one of the best wingers in the world right now if he keeps playing the way he is. So yeah, it's been great.
I say you had to get a Colombian in there after you rattled off a couple Argentines at first.
Yeah. Obviously, James is always a big one for me.
How many times did you try that goal?
What do you mean?
The World Cup goal. Did you ever try to attempt to do it? How many times did you try? Because I know you did.
There's a couple times in the backyard I can remember trying to recreate that action for sure. But no, I mean, he obviously things have changed. In the past couple of years with him, it's been in and out and everything. But he's always just someone I admire and I enjoy watching, and for all that he's done for the national team, it's been huge. So yeah.
So in terms of guys, that people enjoy watching, you've been in preseason for a few weeks now. Who do you think the fans are going to be able to take a liking to, maybe of the new guys that they aren't familiar with yet?
For the new guys, I think you guys are going to be really big fans of a couple of them, actually. Ones that come off my mind are Matt Bentley, who is an English goal scorer in a sense. I mean, anywhere around the box, he's very lethal in front of goal and can finish almost anything. Our two wingbacks now, Stephen Payne and Stuart Ritchie, are very, very good quality wingbacks. They like to get forward and get in on the attack, which makes the winger's job's easier as well, and it's good to connect with someone else up there up front, which is different from last year. And Leo, the new Argentinian guy as well. I think he's definitely going to add a lot of quality in the middle, and he has some wicked free kicks. Not going to lie. So yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You'll make sure to see that. So.
I'm intrigued now.
Are you gonna be taking any free kicks this year?
I'm trying, Darren. Hopefully, if Darren lets me, yeah. But I've been working on that. Been working on it little by little. Only got corner kicks for now, but we'll see if I can upgrade to.
Just score a Olympico. There you go. Just score from there.
Makes it easier too. Yeah.
I would ask you this, man. Like last year, you were the second leading goal scorer in the team with 5 goals. Obviously, Chisaki blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
Going into year 3, what are your top 3 goals for this year?
Top 3 goals. I mean, the first one obviously is to win a championship. I think with the fact that it could possibly be my last year for Richmond, I want to go out with the right way. Again, not saying anything really. I mean, anything can happen at the end of the season, but I want to leave with a trophy by the end of the year, and I think it's about time the fans deserve one as well. And second, I think just for me personally, become better defensively as a player. I think offensively, I've been able to show a little bit of that last year, but defensively has always been something that I feel like I need to improve. So that's a big one for me personally. And then lastly is just to have better stats from last year and continue helping the team on the attack as much as I can. You know, I think a little thing I wanted to do for myself is battle with Emmy in terms of goals and try to match what he can. And, you know, we've already kind of talked about that and having a little friendly rivalry between us. So, yeah, it's I think I'm very excited, and I think you guys are going to see that the brand of soccer that we're playing this year compared to last year is going to be a lot more appealing to the fans for sure.
Question about that, like why do you say it's going to be more appealing? Like, what is the biggest switch that you guys are working on this year?
I don't want to give away all the details, but
yeah, of course, we don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Like you said before the podcast, I don't want you running suicides.
Yeah. But yeah, I think just more in terms of possession based. I mean, I think a lot last year we were very direct. Relied on a lot of crosses and chances coming from wingers, I think. And obviously Emmy as well to score in front of goal. I mean, no one realized or no one knew he was going to have the season that he had a second year, you know, with the way that he performed last year. But just this year, in terms of more possession and all that, I think that's going to be the main difference that you guys are going to see throughout the year.
And about you lining up this year, are you playing more of that winger spot, or are you going to be more of the center forward striker kind of role this year?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to be?
So I think with the personnel that we have this year and the new guys, you guys are actually probably going to see a lot of different formations, which is something that should be interesting because we have the capability and all that to line up however way we want, and the quality won't change in a sense with the players that we have. So I will still be playing on that wing spot, similar to last year. There's a possibility you can see me more tucked in as almost like a double 10. Or even a double striker. So those are two little things that you guys could see throughout the year. So yeah.
All right.
His position is going to be production.
Yeah.
That's what I care about. Just making me look right about my dark horse pick this year. That's all.
I got you, Yogi. I got you, man.
Also, Ellie, why are you disrespecting him and saying he's dark horse?
Well, because I had Emmy as the regular MVP, and then I went with Bolanos.
Yeah.
Either way, I still win.
Who was your MVP for this year, Matt?
I mean, it's got to be Emmy until proven otherwise, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, we're treating this as like the Lakers three-peat.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going back to back.
Yeah,
That's all we're doing.
makes sense.
Matt, anything else from you before we wrap up, sir?
No, I mean, we got all our questions. I think you've done a good job of getting us excited, for the season. Good job of getting the fans up and going. But any other, last little insights you want to sprinkle out there to get everybody amped up and ready to show up on April 2nd?
Hey, real quick before you answer that,
Yeah,
I hadn't had a chance to say this. I want to congratulate you on getting your degree during the middle of a pandemic and
Thank
also being a
you.
professional.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Congrats to you,
Thank you
man.
very much. Thank you. It was definitely interesting watching my graduation through Zoom and just seeing my name on a screen. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Side note: working out of college, graduations are boring. You didn't miss much.
Exactly. That's what I've heard. So I wasn't too
You didn't miss anything.
too sad about it, anyways. But no, I mean I think it's gonna be a big year, and I'll tell you, or I'll tell the fans as well, that I think with the fact that we've had a core group of players that I've been with for a while, that's going to show a lot this year in terms of how we're able to connect and the advantage that we'll have against other teams. And I think that's going to separate us from a lot of other teams. And that's why I believe it'll be a very big year. So, I can't wait, and I hope to see everyone April 2nd, man.
Bet. All right, so before we get out of here, we got 10 lightning quick questions to ask you. I'm gonna ask you 10 questions. You give me your first response to it. All right.
I like it. All
right. Best shoe game on the team.
Matt Bolduc.
Best haircut.
Matt Bentley.
Worst haircut.
Austin Cotty.
I've seen the photos.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's going for, but I'll have to see. I have to say it's between him and Gigo, our personal trainer. Our physical trainer. If that makes sense. So, yeah.
All right. Best motivational speaker on the team.
Does Darren count?
Yeah, Darren counts. I'll give you Darren. Best at picking music.
Nathan Ani.
Worst at picking music.
Emi Terzaghi.
What was the other one? Person you could always beat in FIFA.
Neil Vigneault.
Person you're most afraid to get in a car with.
Vincenzo Candela.
Person who you love to pass person who you love to pass the ball to on the field.
Emmy.
Who cries the most after a five-a-side?
Matt Bolduc for sure.
I figured it was Matt. All right, man.
All right, let me have one more on here.
There you go.
Best fashion sense.
Myself.
Who thinks they have the best fashion sense?
Myself. That's for sure.
Oh man. Well, John, we just want to say thank you, man, for taking time out of your day for hopping on here with us, man. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to supporting you guys this year, man.
All good. Thank you so much. I mean, I truly appreciate, again, all the support that you guys have given us. And again, I think it'll be a big year, like I said, and I can't wait to play in front of you all.
Yeah. If any listeners want to follow you, what's the best way for them to know what's going on in the world of Jonathan Bolanos?
Instagram for sure. Yeah, jbolanos.11. You can find me there.
There you go. Well, as always, listeners, we want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day for listening to our show. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook at RimCity93. With that being said, for Jonathan and Matt, holler at you guys later. Be easy.